Hi, my name is Gwen Peterson. I am a certified health coach, and I'm doing a video today on mindset because this is something that I talk to my clients about all the time. Because when you find our program, it's because you've had a mindset situation that gets to be shifted. Because if you didn't have dialogue in your head, you wouldn't have weight to lose. So I like to start by explaining to people that when you were born, and you would cry, what would happen? Somebody would put a bottle in your mouth to comfort you. So from the minute you were born, you learned that food was comfort. Food made you feel better. Food released stress, all of that. Well, now when you're older, that's not the greatest way to live, right? I mean, let's be real. So the interesting thing that we know is in Dr. A's book, he talks about how sugar hits the same pleasure center in the brain as heroin and alcohol. And when people come to me wanting to start our program, I explain to them, our food is just food. I can give you our food on the silver platter and you will lose weight. It's just the science of blood sugar balance. But the reality is once the excitement and motivation wears off, you will go back to your old habits because it's not enough to keep you focused unless we work on this part of the brain, changing those old habits. And so there's no surprise that knowing that if sugar hits the same pleasure center as heroin and alcohol, thinking that you're just going to stop eating sugar or stop eating flour is just like that alcoholic saying, I'm going to stop drinking, or the heroin addict saying, I'm going to stop shooting up. I mean, really, when we know scientifically that's what's going on in the brain, why do we think that we're going to hop on a new diet and it's going to solve all of our weight loss issues? It's not about the food that's going in our mouth. It's all about the brain. And the sad part about it is, for us, we're not heroin addicts. We hopefully are not alcoholics, and that's why you've ended up gaining weight because you stopped drinking alcohol. But the truth of it is in America, so many people are walking around obese, and more people die a year of heart-related obesity than people die of overdoses, alcohol, heroin, any of that. So how is it okay that we're walking around the streets with 50 to 100 pounds to lose? Yet it's not okay for an alcoholic to be carrying around a bottle or a heroin addict to have a needle hanging out of their arm. It's no different, and more of us die of obesity than we do of addiction. Yet it's the same thing. So I want to have you think about it this way. When somebody goes to AA, they commit to going to 90 meetings in 90 days. And the reason for that is they are aware that you are not just trying to change a habit that's a 21-day thing that's going to change. It takes 90 days to retrain those neural pathways in your brain that lead you to making that decision that makes you do what you don't want to do with heroin, with alcohol, with sugar. So when I get somebody started on our program, I tell them they're not going to go to physical meetings, but our company has so many resources that will help you retrain that brain. We have every Wednesday night, we have a habit of health call. They're all downloaded in podcasts. We have our Dr. A's book that is our transformational system. I don't know about you guys, any of you guys that are clients that didn't or that weren't were that started on program when it was these books right here, the Habits of Health, which you've seen in my old videos, and then the workbook. Well, let me tell you, on your next order, go get the 2.0. It is a life book. It is meant to be working on a chapter a week because we are working on baby steps toward long-term health. And you know how people go, I'm going to start exercising. They hit the gym, they start going hardcore out of nowhere, and by the end of the week, they can't even move. Well, what did that solve? Same thing with our program. You are quickly changing what's going on in your mouth. But if you don't work on these habits of health and the life book every single week, you may not be eating our food in 90 days because we have to fix this. So if I can give you one piece of advice here, realize you are not to blame for why you make the decisions you do with food. It was started for you when you were born. But now as an adult, this is what we get to change. Because if you still struggle with food is pleasure, food makes me feel better, food makes me feel better when I'm sad or tired or angry or frustrated, That is what we get to change, because guess what? If you don't fix that, you're going to go to keto next week. You're going to go to Atkins the week after. You might go start going to Weight Watchers. You might start all these different programs. It's not about the food. It's about your brain. So do yourself a favor. Start listening to our podcast. Get yourself our life book and start retraining your brain, because we want to see you healthy and happy. And the only thing between you where you are today and you being that healthy person down the road is what's in between here, because the food does the job. It's our brain that stops us from doing the job. So comment below if this helped you kind of think through what's been missing for you and why it's crucial to put healthy stuff in your brain every day. Because when you're doing our program, you're putting healthy food in your mouth every 3 hours. So why aren't you putting healthy dialogue into your brain? So go to your podcast app on your phone. On an iPhone, it comes automatically loaded. On an Android, you have to go download a podcast player, search the word Optavia, and subscribe to our Habit of Health calls. And trust me, it will change your life, because that's what's missing in your health and wellness journey. Hope you guys are having a great day. Comment below on what spoke to you, because I know that this is the missing link for so many people. Have a good day. Bye, guys.